voice from Megatron, I had this deep voice that I played with, and it was actually started as an impression of Barry White. Probably a lot of you don't know who Barry White is. He was the singer of Love, and he used to sound kind of, "I love you, baby."
Not Barry White.
I need you, baby. And it was such a big, powerful, funny voice to me, because I was just a kid going, "Oh, it's funny." It's scary too. But anyhow, so I loved that voice, and I started kind of fiddling with it. Yeah, and I used it also for Dr. Claw and for "I'll get you, Gadget, if it's the last thing I do, Gadget!" And then in a couple of other features, the Disney feature, The Cave of Wonders. He who enters the Cave of Wonders, beware. When I was trying to think of something different for Megatron, because I know that there's other actors who do low voices, Peter Cullen. Just such a voice. Peter Cullen. I can't do him. I know he's doing me. I am working on it. Terrible. I will get it. Maybe not the soul, but enough to irritate him. But there was a thing that I did that was actually, I called it my cave voice, and I see if I can do it for you. I'm trying to do like maybe 11 different sounds at the same time. So you go, "Hello, I am the Cave of Wonder. Where are you? Save me, Megatron." So I take that and put it with this. "I am Megatron, leader of the Decepticons." But the actual deep voice, that went to Soundwave, which was Barry White. "I am Soundwave. Talk in a monotone, and then add the electric on it, and you get Soundwave. But I like doing the voice of caves, and I am your leader." "Yes, Malik." I'm sorry, I'm getting carried away. I'm not answering the question.
That was amazing and terrifying.
Thank you very much.
All right, do we have a Bradford Ward in the house? Here he comes.
I want everybody to please note the shirt that he's wearing.
Spike.
See what he's got on?
Alright.
And can you point out to your dad and show what your dad is wearing? Awesome.
Spike and Spark plug.
Spike, Spark, and Spark. Spike and Spark. That's cool, you guys.
Hello, Mr. Welker. My name is Bradford Ward, and I would like to ask you who you've had the most fun voicing in the Transformers franchise over the past 32 years, whether it be Megatron, Chrome Dome, or anyone else in the franchise.
Well, you know, it's actually a pretty easy question. I love doing Megatron. It's fun. He was in every show. He always had crazy, fun, good stuff to do. But I will tell you, coming along with Greg Berger and following him along as Sludge, that was such a goofy character. I'm Dougie Pooh. I'm behind you. Sludge was kind of a gas to do, and doing it with Greg was a real kick. But no, I'd have to say Megatron, and then probably Soundwave. And you know, Soundwave, when you do it, Bear, without a microphone, I am Soundwave. Not much there. When you do it on mic, and then you do it in a studio mic, and And then they put that electrical sound on it. It was just so much fun. But going there and just milking it, each word just feels good. Just like the guy who's going, I love you, baby, I love you. So Soundwave, I'd say Megatron, Soundwave, Sludge. And Rumble, too. I like doing Rumble. Hey, come on! What's not to like? Come on! Hey! Thank you. Love those shirts. Thanks, guys.
I gotta ask with Rumble, was he based on anyone in particular or just New York?
I kind of had those kids, Dead End Kids. You remember the long time ago?
Like the Greasers almost?
No, this was way before. This was back like in Kevin. Can you help me? When were the Dead End Kids? That 30s? 30s. Notice I went to Kevin. He's gonna be so angry with me. You come to me for the 30s. I'm in the 60s, the 70s, 80s. Look at me, I'm a young man. Anyway, there were Leo Gorski and Hunts Hall. Leo Gorski's kind of one of these guys. Hey, well, you guys don't say it, and then you take it into French, you just bring it up again, I mean, Hunts Hall was like this shit. He was a fun guy. I almost used him for Ralph the God. Ralph the God is an original character. I should run for president. You guys following that up here? Our presidents?
Oh,
No.
yeah. I'm sorry.
Let's
be
move.
cute. Okay, now we have Thomas Kim.
Woo! You just answered my question.
Well, Thomas Kim was very excited. All right, first one there with the X.
How would you describe your relationship with Pierre Collin?
Who put you up to this? Well, Peter Cullen is so much fun to hang out with. We spend a great deal of time, he's probably told you this too, trying to make each other laugh, playing gags on each other. Working with him, he's what we call a mensch. He's such a good guy. He's a generous actor. So whenever there's a line that comes up, he will help you with it. A lot of times you'll see me off camera, the read lines for the other actor while the actor's on camera. Well, same thing sometimes in the voice world, where you got to do some pickup lines. You just do them by yourself. Peter goes, no, man. I'll put myself through it for you. But he really, he'll do anything, whether it's acting or on a friendship basis. He's a really, really good guy. And it's a lot of fun working with him.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it.
Okay.
I have to suck up to Peter, or else I'm out of it.
All right, so apparently this next crop of questions was submitted by Mike Java and the Job Squad. So it's group questions. So there's going to be a couple people come up. So Mike, do you want to assemble your team?
Yeah, can I get Goober, Dylan, and Malloy up to the front, please?
Goober, 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 Goober. Hey, man.
Where's Mike? Brent! Yes! What other Malway?
Are we gonna sing a chorus or something? Or do a
You're just
duet?
gonna read what's on the page and only what's on the page. Under no circumstances are you to deviate from what's on this page.
Understood.
Dude, totally deviate.
All right, let's
I'm
get
telling you,
started.
deviate.
How has it been returning to the Megatron role in recent years? How has it been playing multiple versions of the same character after helping to build such an iconic version of G1? I think this is something you touched on a bit already.
Yeah, I think I have kind of touched on it earlier, but you know, when I first found out that there was a resurgence of the characters and Megatron was coming back, that they were going to do the features, it was really exciting because the G1 voice for Megatron was a total and complete original creation. A lot of the voices that you do, sometimes you'll pick up maybe a character like Red Skelton for Bullwinkle. Red Skelton was kind of the genesis, I think, for Bullwinkle. Oh, they too big over there. And then it turned into Bullwinkle. So sometimes you use things that are kind of other pieces of people's creations for certain things. And then the other side of that is when a director directs you away from your base instinct. So when I looked at Megatron originally on a piece of paper and I saw the drawing, what came out was those things, the voices from the many voices and all those things, trying to create that character. But what we ended up with was those voices that were original and that were from your gut. Because sometimes when a director moves you in a different direction, it still works, but it's not your initial feeling, and you don't feel sometimes like you totally created it from your personal DNA. So then as you move on to the different versions of the character, now you have another opportunity to add something new, but there's people kind of moving you around a little bit. So you have the pleasure of the first original child. And then as you move into the other ones, it's a different kind of pleasure because now you're trying to do what a director wants you to do, what the producer and the writers want you to do. So it's another form of acting. You're trying to capture what they want and then still throw in your stuff. So, and then for Galvatron in the feature, Michael pretty much said to me, "Hey Frank, what do you think?" Well, that's the greatest thing you can say to an actor, because then, he's like, "Well, give me some paintbrushes, I'm gonna go to town." And so there's different enjoyments and pleasures in all three versions, and it's been a fun trip, good ride, still going.
Next, who were your mentors when you started in show business? What were the most important things that they taught you?
Well, in the voice world, well, first I was going to say maybe in the stand-up comedy world, I went out on the road with some different groups, the Righteous Brothers, and Bobby Hatfield was like my brother. I mean, he took me to the parties, he took me to the places to see where jazz and music was happening, and then I worked with a group called Brazil 66, Sergio Mendes. And their group taught me to drink just a little bit of brandy before you go on stage to clear the pipes. I'm 22 years old and brandy doesn't sound so bad. It was strictly for medicinal purposes. And it was just a slight bit. And then the next thing is they said, you should wear makeup. I said, "Okay, waiter!" But they were, so they were friends in show business, and they were teaching me things. And the reason to wear makeup is because we're playing huge coliseums and auditoriums, and they say your face is so expressive, you need people to see you. So in the early days, it was these musicians that were teaching me secrets and things, and also about how to use the microphone with drums and all that kind of stuff. And then when I started getting into voices, as I said, I worked with Don Messick, the great Don Messick, Daz Butlers, Mel Blanc. Those are some of the older folks. And then just my fellow actors, are also inspiration and mentors.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Frank.
You are?
I'm Gooper.
I wanted to hear you say it! Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you too, man.
Look at that hat.
I know. Got the rainbow thing going.
Right on. Okay, my question is, what's the most challenging monster or animal voice you've ever had to come up with?
Ooh. There's been a lot of challenges. Can I tell you two?
Yep.
He asked for one.
I just one. I know, but the other guy had half a question. He didn't. So I have half a question to go. I'll put that apply it towards this.
I'll allow it.
Okay, it's allowed.
You're deviating.
Okay, I'm deviating. It was actually one of the easiest, but it was one of the goofiest. And I'm trying to think of the picture. It was a long time ago. I think it may have been like my science project or something. I don't know. But there was a mouse that was underwater and it was supposed to have a helmet on. And they said, "How a mouse to evoke and act and so on." And he's on the screen drowning, obviously. But so they have this little helmet on. They said, "Can you come up with some kind of sound for the mouse underwater?" And I thought, well, now there's a challenge. Bizarre request. I just wanted to share you with you just so that you know some of the stuff they ask us to do. But the most difficult and also a lot of fun was in Species. Do you remember what was her name in there?
Natasha Henstridge. Syl.
Syl.
Yes, Syl.
And Syl was actually a beautiful model from New York who comes down from space, and her job is to mate with the most eligible male human to interject the species from outer space into the human male. And it was very disgusting. But on the train there were these big eggs that were hanging there and they had to have the sound. Which was a lot of fun. And then they hatch and they come out but she's now around and there was a scene that we worked on and the director was great. And when she after she's mated with the male, then the way she disposes of the male is to stick her tongue through the back of his neck. So they'll be kissing and she's gorgeous and then all of a sudden you hear bloop, bloop, and he says, "Frank, we need a sound." I won't do that for you. And then she goes on, and the way that they dispose of her is she's burned alive, and with her babies, she does a baby. So I had to do all of that screaming as a female creature from outer space. That was tough. I prefer the Barry White voice.
Thank you.
Yes. And in that screaming, though, there was a kind of a little tip I'll give you, is using some different sounds that weren't quite so painful. But and they take that and layer it over. I can't do it. Love talking about myself.
Hello, sir. I'm not sure how I got up here, but I'm so happy to see you.
I can say the same. No, I know.
Apparently, my question is as follows. There have been numerous revivals of many properties you worked on in the beginning, such as Transformers, Scooby-Doo, Ghostbusters. How has it felt to see new life come into these brands again?
Excellent question. You wrote that, didn't you?
I'll take it.
The answer is yes.
The answer is, you know, it's amazing to see all of these, so many of these former shows coming back now as features. And there was even, I heard a couple of years back, a Scooby-Doo play that was all across the UK. I think that they actually toured with a Scooby-Doo group on stage, which I'd love to see that, you know. But so the fact that that show has gone from movies to games to, you know, it just goes on and on. But it's actually never gone away. The other shows that have kind of disappeared and come back, it's remarkable and really nice for those of us who worked a lot in the earlier days to see the stuff come back to give us an opportunity to perform, you know, and to see what kind of new life these shows can take and where they're going to go with them and how the fans react. Once again, I want to thank all of you who've supported me over the years as Megatron. You don't know what a great difference you've made, and I appreciate it very, very much.
I don't know how I got up here either, as you could obviously tell from my reaction earlier. I wasn't even informed of this, but okay. So my question is, what does it mean like to see the animation and voiceover industry change over the last 50 years, and where do you think it's going?
Well, the CGI stuff, I think the example that I can see most apparently is the CGI that we did in Transformers Prime. In that format, the subtleties of the mouth movement, now you can start to see real words happening where, you know, in animation, in the flat animation that we did in G1 or any of the old shows, we'd come back and loop for things that they wanted to change. Like if you couldn't say Tide detergent, obviously, you know, then you'd come back and they, instead of Fred going, or Megatron say, Tide detergent, get him! It just was so easy because everything fit, you know. So in doing looping sessions, it was a breeze, you know. No problem. I'm out of here. But now, when you do get into the subtleties of CGI, performance-wise, now you can really take more time. And when you're in these scenes, dialogue becomes really important. You know, in G1, everything works, but there was a pretty high level and a lot of action, a lot of things going on the full time. Now, in the newer CGI stuff, you can slow that all down and really get some evil juices. I will take my time. When I want, I will destroy you. Right before, I'm gonna take her out and try to destroy you. So I mean, I really think that's kind of a nice thing for acting, is a nice place to go. Plus the color and the places you can go now with this. And I don't know, maybe you guys can tell me, but what Disney did with the Jungle Book. I mean, that is just phenomenal. You know, it just looks so real in those characters. And I don't know what kind of technology that is, if that's a CGI combination of things, but it's where it's going, I think, is probably that direction. And I think for voices, it's just only better for us. And I don't know why you're up here, but I'm glad you came. Thank you.
Oh, sure, Mike, you leave me by myself, thanks.
Okay, so with that, our time is drawing to a close. That was a good question to end on. From the bottom of my heart, and every single one of these people here, thank you for your contributions to not only Transformers, but every piece of media you've been involved with. You have shaped numerous childhoods, and you continue to entertain us to this day. Thank you. We appreciate you. I want you to give Frank Welker a standing ovation.
you all so much. I love you guys.